break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Breath fill my wings, spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it. It all, I just wanna be free. Finally, finally, I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. Finally, finally, I wanna be free. Finally, finally, I always daydreaming, never imagined I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to.
Hey everybody, hey insiders. Happy Self-Care Sunday.
What's up?
We back, y'all. We back. It's been a while. I feel like it's been forever since we've been on here.
It's been forever.
It
It's
has been.
and it's so weird that we couldn't be like together today like we are, because like 2 years ago, we were all shut in like this.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
but I'm so glad to be back, to be
I
here
am
today.
glad to be back. So welcome everybody to another episode of Melanin Insights with Brit and Cass. I am Cass, and this is my co-host Brit. Usually she would be sitting next to me and I'd be pointing to her, but she's on the screen. And we give you insight from the perspective of the Black woman. And we are on Sin Digital Media, where we amplify Black voices in Cincinnati and beyond. So come in, like the show, share the show, be comfortable, grab you a drink. I today am drinking Terramana Tequila, which is a rocks tequila. And I'm drinking the Resposito one, which he has a gold one coming out that I can't wait to try because I love his tequila. It's one of the best tequilas. I like it.
I think I've been real heavy on the tequila lately. Like, I don't mess with no vodka, don't drink no dark. If it's not wine and I'm going to drink liquor, it's all tequila. So
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try that. I am drinking. Listen, I had a really, really busy weekend. I had to work and do a wedding because I'm like a Jamaican. I got
right hustle. Yeah, absolutely.
After doing the wedding and driving home in the snowy rain, and then I went to the Martin Luther King Gala.
I've seen that. You look gorgeous too, by the way.
Yes, that was a wonderful experience. So yeah, I got to go out and get all fancy, went bar hopping a little bit, and I've been drinking a lot all weekend. So this is the I got last night that I couldn't even drink. It was some sweet tea, and it had it overnight in the refrigerator. And
so it's super sweet.
It's Southern, yes. It's
yeah, absolutely. Well, first I want to give a shout out to our insiders who are joining us today. Anthony says, "Evening fam." Shaba Zulu says, "I am Shaba." Come on, Black Pride. Jerome is in the house. Good evening, 513. It has been a long time, Jerome. We are so glad to be back. Brenda, happy Sunday. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like the show and share the show. I even got people over on TikTok. Black Jesus is saying happy Sunday. Yes, happy self-care Sunday. Thank you guys for tuning in. So yeah, we got a couple things we're going to start with, and as usual, we're going to start with our rant of the day. But we got a lot of hot topics to discuss today. So, Ms. Britt, what is your rant of the day?
Yeah, the rant of the day is I just need some help. Okay, it's a lot going on in the world, and Kim K. I know it was a while ago that she came out and said we needed to get our fucking asses up and work, is what she said. People don't want to work these days. I have worked and worked and worked, and I've got plenty of income, like coming in from different sources, and it's still not enough. Okay, gas is high, electric is high. So I wish I did have, nannies and help.
Right.
To, assist with that. I could do a lot more things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Things with that. So that's just my rant. A lot of us is out here, and shout out to all the people that's working, working through the pandemic when all that happened. Some people lost their got new jobs. It's a lot going on. So
it is a lot going on. And
and
my
try.
whole issue with Kim K saying that was it's like I agree that, what I'm saying, we as women, I mean we as people anyway need to work, obviously, to take care of ourselves. But it's like everybody don't come from your line of luck and, wealth to just be able to take that and ride off with it and make something out of it. A lot of us have to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and it still ain't enough.
Exactly.
With minimum wage being so low, I mean, really, it hasn't really changed much from when I was a teenager working. And now I have a teenager working, and it hasn't changed much. But it's like when you got these high school kids making as much as people with degrees out here, and then you still got to make 3 times your rent, and you ain't making 3 times your rent for an apartment. It's like, make it make sense. It's easy to be like, get up and work when you're a billionaire.
Yeah, or you were born rich, and I'll be thinking about when things start to really happen with this war, with other things that are going on. Once all this start happening, and people that are normally used to being born wealthy and privileged, got all these things. Like, what are y'all gonna do when them things don't matter? And it's walking dead.
Right. Yeah.
People, their minds.
Agreed.
You know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
what's your rant, boo? What you got going on?
My rant is I think we need to be a little bit more sensitive. It's kind of touching on the first topic that we're going to get into, which is the 14-year-old Tyree Simpson who died on the drop tower ride in Orlando. But I see a
Okay.
lot of people sharing that video, and I can't watch it. It's come across my social media a couple times, and I just think that we need to be a little bit more sensitive. I know we're in the age of social media where you share everything and then you want videos to go viral and it's clickbait and all this stuff, but it's triggering for me in the sense of I don't want to see another young black man being killed, especially in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm terrified of roller coasters and heights and all that stuff. So that's not something that I want to see personally, because I have kids who love roller coasters and they love those type of things, but I think we need to be a little bit more sensitive. Like his parents are grieving, people close to him are grieving. He was an athlete, he got people in his life who are grieving who don't want to constantly be reminded of that situation and be seeing people sharing it on social media. Like I just think we need to be a little bit more sensitive in situations like that because it's very triggering and it's very, very sad.
And it's traumatic, but it's so sad that that's, the type of generation that we living in now where they just so used to. I mean, you should see it at the schools. Every time somebody about to fight or fighting or something going on,
Right.
things become escalated, with the phones. But the
Hmm.
people that was on that ride, I happened to see it because it was before I seen what was going on, and I was going through IG, and I'm just looking, and all of a sudden I see it happen, and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And hear people screaming. I didn't know if it was like real at first,
Hmm.
like, and
I
it's.
literally can't even watch it. Every time it pops up, I turn away from it. I can't watch it.
But my kids asked for the first thing they asked for birthdays and all that kind of stuff. Kings Island passes.
Yeah.
Kings Island
Are
passes.
you a roller coaster person?
No, I'm not. Like, there's a couple that I will get on. And then once I get on, I'm like, why am I on here? But I feel like the older I get, the more kind of scary I get. But I
Yeah.
did ride the Diamondback when it first came back out. And they only have a thing that goes in between your legs, and it goes on top of your thighs. That first hill, and I was in the front row, my butt, you can see it in the picture. I'm holding the seat like this
Hmm.
because I felt my body like coming up out. There's no
Yeah.
loops, so they don't feel like they don't need the thing over. But honey, yeah, I felt like I was coming off, and I've never
Yeah.
rode it.
Now, this is the thing. I'm not a roller coaster person. I've always said that you're getting on a roller coaster because for one, I don't understand everybody's fascination with everything has to be the tallest, the fastest, the deadliest drop. I don't get that fascination. Like, not only am I scared of heights, but to me, it feels like it's too close to suicide. Like, I don't want to be dropped 300 feet at 90 miles an hour. That feels like it was what I would think suicide would be like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you used to jump off a building. That's
You're
not
not.
fun for me. Like
Mm-hmm.
that fight or flight feeling for no reason to me would like trigger all my anxieties. Like
Yeah.
that's why I'm one of those people like don't play practical jokes on me because that would terrify me. And if you kick that instinct into me, I'm gonna be pissed ready to fight. So don't come at me like, oh, I'm scared, you trying to be funny. It's gonna turn into a misunderstanding. I don't like that feeling being triggered in me if it's not something serious. So to get on
Yeah.
roller coasters where you're dropping me hundreds of feet super fast, that's not me. It never has been and never will be. I had a friend at one point who tried to was like, well, you lost the bet, so you got to get on this roller coaster. And I tried it, and I guess that's why I'm so confused about this story because I have a friend. Her kid's father was like 6'5", 300 pounds, and we got on. It might have been the Banshee at Kings Island. And this is when I was heavier. Like this was like right after I had Sage, so I was like way heavier than what I am now. And I remember they put me in a kid's seat and they couldn't get the seatbelt fastened. They were like, "Ma'am, you got to get off." And I was like super embarrassed because I'm like, okay, like I know I'm a little bit bigger because I just had a kid, but he's like 300 and something pounds and he can ride it. So I was like, well, why is it that he can ride? But I was cool because it's like I don't want to do it anyway. But I don't understand how when you look at these seats, they're made for a typical slim adult. This
Mm-hmm.
boy was like 300 something pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way. And they even said he was turned away from some ride. There's no way he was in
Yeah.
that park when he got on this
They
ride and nobody could see that he couldn't fit.
Yeah, he was turned away from some rides. That's what I heard. But like at Kings Island, they got the seats outside the line so that you can sit down and kind of, do
Yeah,
what you if you could even before all that embarrassment. But embarrassment or not, sometimes it's just not working out and it's not going to
right,
close. I cannot do. That's what should have happened. I don't know who the workers are. They might be young. I don't know what until the details come out, but I think that they do need to investigate that because they know they was just dead wrong from jump.
right. They were. Now, do you think that amusement parks need to take more accountability? Because again, these seats are made for standard slim adults. Should they try and make the seats bigger for bigger people who have that like thrill seeker gene and want to ride these rides, or should they just be like, no, if you're at a certain weight, you just can't ride, and we don't have anything for you, and that's it?
Yeah, I'm really not sure how they can go about that because you don't want to be discriminatory towards other people, but it might be something scientifically to where you like, we know this ride goes such and such miles per hour with the weight of somebody that's bigger like that,
Yeah,
there's still might be a possibility that we can't properly restrain them or that something might happen to the equipment. It only takes a certain amount of weight. Even in small planes, you can't put a whole bunch of luggage in small planes and expect them to just, excel and fly out like that.
right,
We lose people like that. So rules and regulations have to be, set, period. And you have to go by it. And it always has to take a tragedy sometimes for us to like be like, okay, now we have to make sure that this is secure. We have to make
right.
sure. I mean, because who wants to be the one really to upset somebody or hurt somebody's feelings? But once he said it wasn't fitting and all that, and everybody
Yeah.
else was saying, I felt like something should be done. Should be done. You got to get off there. You can't ride. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
and somebody said that because I think my daughter had watched part of the video, and she said you could hear in the video where there were people who were like, you could hear the workers saying like, "Did you check that side of the ride to make sure they were secure?" And they were like, "Yeah," but they were kind of like, "Yeah, we did, but we didn't." And you can kind of hear the like hesitancy, like nobody came over there and checked because usually when you get on the ride, they come over and they check and make sure everything's secure, you're buckled down, the harness is locked in place, that way can't nobody get hurt. So from what I'm understanding, nobody came and checked that whole side of the ride to make sure they were secure in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, it was just negligence all around. It seems like just negligence. You have to make sure you check it once. I've had them check it twice. Come back around, checking this, checking the seatbelt, checking all of that. But when you got a line full of people, you trying to get people in and out of there. Y'all trying to generate money. You're hot, you're tired. You might be a teenager.
Right.
No, but they think a little different than us, and we don't take things seriously. We got to get this ride up, get it down, so we can get the next group up, get it up and down. But you can clearly see how his thing was way higher than everybody else's. And
Yeah.
and he said something about it and everything else. But even after in his death, they said that there is like a time period between like 10, 15 minutes before help even arrived.
Yeah.
So he was just like laying there and the staff really wasn't trying to do nothing. I think everybody was pretty much traumatized though.
Yeah. I mean, I was traumatized just hearing about it. I didn't even watch the video and I was traumatized just hearing about it. Somebody on my TikTok said that this is so sad to me that they changed my life. It definitely makes you think about things like that. Like I'm definitely reconsidering letting my kids go to Kings Island or any type of music park.
Yes, and I mean, I did talk to a couple people at a wedding that I was doing, and one in particular said she worked there for about 8+ years, and the other girl was just like, yeah, my friend's mom is an engineer, and she helped this and that. Like they were just like talking, and she was saying how sometimes rides don't be right and they don't really do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Certain streets might not be right and things can fall over and tumble.
Mhm.
Mechanical wise, they keep having the same issues. And that the reason why the vortex was gone is because it was sinking into the ground.
Yeah.
Um, things like that, but you have to do these protocols with these machines that you put people on that they entrust you to put on. Even carnival rides, though. We've seen this in the was it the
Yeah.
Ohio Air? When the ride just and those are rides that are broken down and
Right.
continue
And put back up every day. Yeah.
we got to be regulated on this. I feel the same way you feel. Like I'm kind of scared to send my kids to Kings Island and just it's just something to think about. And it was some negligence there though, and I need
Yeah.
just boring.
And it's funny because my daughter is in like an advanced physics class, and she's like, "Mom, I hate physics. I'm never going to use this." And I'm like, as somebody like me, like I don't like physics either. Like I don't understand it. But it's like if you was ever going to reuse physics in your life, it would be in this type of job. But I also feel like the friend next to him, and I hate to like, this is already a traumatic experience. So I hate to be like what a friend should have. But I'm sorry, if I'm on a ride with you and you as my friend are like, I don't feel safe, I don't feel comfortable, and I know nobody come over to check our rides, I'm gonna be hollering and screaming something to get somebody's attention to be like, stop this ride. My friend is not safe. This is not secure. Nobody come over here to check. Like I wouldn't feel comfortable as a friend just going up and hearing my friend being like, I don't feel safe and secure, and not at least like how on Final Destination. I
Yeah,
forget which one it was. It was on the roller coaster and everybody died, and she was like screaming. She's like, "Get me off! Get me off!" Somebody needs to be making some noise and acting a fool to get them to stop this ride.
yeah. And they're probably used to certain things, but with the negligence, I mean, I feel like a lot just went ignored. People wanted to
Yeah,
just keep operation moving or with no safety. I don't know. I hope details emerge because hey, like I said, it's sad that it took somebody's life to be gone for us to start worrying or talking about some things that need to be taken care of at all times.
yeah.
All
DD
time.
says, I don't agree that the ride should be taken down, but the training, let me see what's going on. I'm sorry. The training on if someone can fit and telling them no definitely needs to be done. The park is responsible and should settle this. You also
Hmm.
have to take responsibility for protecting yourself as well. I agree. If he felt like he couldn't fit, I strongly feel like he should have been like, I can't fit in this. I need to get off.
Yeah,
There's
and
no amount of fun to be had that's going to risk my life. I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm just trying to think like there's training that does need to be done and accounted for, taken care of. Maybe the ride doesn't need to get taken down. There was another article though that said when they made the ride, how one of the workers were testing it, and the same thing happened to them. So
Yeah.
riders, do a little research on that. I'm gonna do a research on that myself because things be coming in and I don't want to just assume things. But they did say that a worker had ended up dying like similar the same way. So some
Yeah.
of the seats work, some of the seats didn't. There's a lot of story, a lot of things coming in. So they need to be fixing some things. But the ride, I feel like it was built and designed to do what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to
Yeah.
take you and it's supposed to drop you down. But they didn't have him secure in there. And he was what, 340 pounds?
Yeah. He was a big boy.
Yeah, big football playing. Yeah. It
That's what I'm
wasn't
saying. Like, I mean, do they need to be more considerate of that? And like I said, make seats for bigger people or make rides specifically for bigger people that give them that same thrill seeker experience?
possibly. They'd have to make sure I must say this in the nicest way possible, okay? But they already have signs that say it, make sure your heart is okay and ready
Yeah.
for this. In my Dr. Now voice, do you watch my in my Dr. Now voice, no, like make sure that you are, you're able to ride this ride. Think about this, seizures, all that. You had a sign up there because
Yeah.
somebody gonna y'all. But engineers, like we got amazing engineers, okay?
Yeah.
Um, and we need to create maybe some, some rides or some options that people can still get the thrill and make sure you're securely in, but scientifically, physically, physics and all the
Yeah.
chemistry, I can't, I wasn't built for that, you know.
Yeah. Anthony said, remember when the cable snapped and severed a young girl's feet? Yeah, I do remember that situation. I don't remember what park it was at, but I do remember a young girl's feet got severed on the ride. And I definitely think that the people who started the ride should have been fired.
And then you got to think about, trees and stuff. I know when I'm driving on the bus, if they have the windows down, them tree branches will come in. Like, keep your arms and hands. When you on these
Yeah.
roads open, especially like the beast and stuff, you come around them corners the wrong way. They got to make sure point before
It
they open.
definitely makes me more cautious of the fact that life is just so short and it could be over. Like, he was just going there for spring break, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was over just that quick. And it makes me more cautious because once again, so the other night my daughter was out. This is a little bit off topic, but it's the same. She was her and her friends that went to Waffle House, and it was like she's supposed to be home by 11. So she, like, 10:30, she was on her way to go take her friends back home, and then she was coming home. And so the car had caught a flat tire because she rolled over something. And so I had to call, my insurance, and I got roadside assistance. So I called us into a location, and she had to wait like 45 minutes to an hour for the AAA guy or whoever to come and change the tire, put a spare on. And then so she could take her friends home. And so after she pulled off, like, by this time it's like right at midnight. And so at this point, she got pulled over. And so instantly, because it's like the second time she done got pulled over. And we live in a fairly predominantly white area. And so once again, she started panicking, and she's like, "Mom, they're pulling me over. I didn't even do anything." So I'm on, FaceTime with her, and the cops pulled her over, and he's like, roll down your windows. So I got tinted windows. So he's like, roll your windows down. And they're all minors. She's 17, her friend's 17, one is 16, and then the other one is 16. So they're like, "Are you guys related?" So they're asking her all these questions unrelated to stopping her because of her window tint. It was, who are you guys? How are you related? How old are you guys? Where are you going? Why are you up this late? Now, Springboro has a curfew of 12 o'clock midnight. So if they were just stopping her because of the curfew, I would have understood that. But first it was, well, your windows tint is too dark. But then and you were riding over the white barrier, the barrier to the lane. And she's like, "Well, how did you know I was riding over the barrier when you're saying I was riding over it on my driver's side and you were on my passenger side? So how did you even see that I was riding over it, number one?" But he was just like all in the car, flashing the flashlight or whatever. And this cop was like super aggressive off the rip. And so finally I'm like, "Pinky, tell him that I'm on the phone." Because she had the phone in her lap and the volume, like, it was between her legs, so he couldn't really hear me. I'm like, "Pick up your phone, tell him that I'm on the phone." So he's like, "Let me talk to your mom." And I'm like, "First of all, like, you're doing too much with my kid. Like, you need to stop being so aggressive with her." I'm like, "But she caught a flat tire. That's the reason why she's out past curfew. She's on her way home now. I know where she is. She's not breaking any laws. She's completely fine." And so finally he backed off. But it's like, I feared that if I hadn't been on the phone, that could have easily took a turn for the worse.
Yeah.
So it just makes me conscious of how any little thing, whether it's your kid going to the amusement park, your kid being pulled over by the police, any little thing could possibly end your life at a moment's notice. And that's scary to think about.
For sure, though. For sure. I used to get pulled over all the time for tint because I had my dad's car, and he had a white car, and he had real dark tint. And
and that's how mine is. It's a white with really dark tint. Yeah.
So they would always try to see, and then once they seen it was a girl, kind of like, questioning. And then I think once they knew it, ran my tags, knew it was my dad who was military, they kind of backed off. But yeah, I've only gotten one speeding ticket in my whole entire life, but I have been pulled over so many times simply for driving that car, or another one of my dad's cars or something, that had tints. And then once they seen it, it was a little different. I was treated differently. Thank God, thank God, because it didn't have to go down like that. But sad and crazy world. Hold your kids, hug them, love them, because you just don't ever know.
See my nosy kid in the background over there. I thought she was asleep. Yeah. Now she just popped up being nosy.
They're watching it.
Craig says, "So is the tent legal?" My tent is legal. Yes, my tent is legal. When I got it put on, I told them that I wanted the legal limit, and they said that it was legal. But every time I get pulled off, they try and tell me that it's not legal. But I've only gotten one ticket for it. And that's how, because the first time that I got a ticket for, he said it wasn't legal. I fought it in court and they dismissed it. And then now every time I get pulled over, they go, "Oh, it's too dark." But then they don't give me a ticket. So it's like, if it really wasn't legal, why won't you give me a ticket for it? And then when I start questioning, like, what's the real reason why you put me over? And it's always, "Oh, well, this also, and then this also." It's like they're looking for reasons once they get me pulled over and they realize that I'm not a threat to anybody. And then it's like, "We'll give you a warning and let you go."
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely understand that. I already know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the white. I don't know what it is about that. white cars, if you got tint like that, they gonna pull you over.
Yeah, and I think it's because it makes the window tint look darker, which to an extent I
It
understand. Because I also understand that when you're riding in like high sunlight, it makes the window tint look darker.
white
But I
car
do
and
believe that some of these cops are just out here harassing folks for no reason.
that's right. That's right. What else we got on topic today? What's another hot topic?
So yeah, we're gonna switch gears a little bit because I do want to address this whole Kanye West incident. Speaking about friends who should tell people when they're out of pocket or help them when things are going wrong. Because I know a lot of people have been saying like, but Kanye's a genius, and and they're pretty much going against Kim because they don't like her. I'm not a big fan of Kim K either, but at the same time, I also feel like it doesn't matter if I like her or not. Wrong is wrong. And I feel like it would be different if he wasn't at one point openly campaigning online to get this woman back. Like, I want my family back. I love my wife. I want her. But then he's popping out with all these women who look like her. Why he's still trying to campaign to get her back? So it's like not only are you like harassing this woman, but then you're wasting these other women's time because you're popping out with all these new girlfriends who look like her, but you're still trying to get her back while you're entertaining other women.
Yeah, he's just a Gemini, losing his mind, can't get his way and all that. And you know how Kanye is. He makes people famous, so he's getting these girls, trying to make people now. They're, everybody wants to know who they are. I don't get really all wrapped up and involved in their business and all this madness. I will say this: he wants his friends to speak up on things that he feels like is being taken away from him as a father.
Mm-hmm.
Wants more celebrities to speak up. I personally, as a not famous person and all that, I don't care for people to comment on my relationship or my issues and things like that because you don't really know. I don't care what I post on Facebook. I might post that my whole life is falling apart, and that's because I forgot to pay a bill on time and I got to pay an extra $30. Okay, so don't get wrapped up in other people's stuff when you don't know what's really going on. I will say though, while everybody thinks that somebody's supposed to support, it's a whole lot of Kims out here. And y'all don't have no comment, and y'all don't have no comment about what your homeboys is out here doing to these females, they baby mamas. It's always talked about baby mama drama, but a lot of people don't talk about how men can be as toxic in the same way.
Absolutely.
As far as him bothering her, I feel like, yeah, he is a good dad. I do agree with him when he talks about TikTok and having his child on there or wanting to have certain aspects as a father be in her life. That those are his children. That's what you chose to do, Kim, is have children. You know what I'm saying? Even though you married him and divorced him like you do everybody else you've been with, you chose to have these kids with him. So this is a little different. Y'all got a co-parent.
Right.
We'll say there are a lot of Kims out here. While y'all laughing or Kanye crazy and all this, there's a lot of females out here that are scared, that are threatened, that are, whatever y'all feel, these feelings about, oh, poor Kim and oh, whatever. There's a lot of females out here dealing with that and don't nobody.
Right, it is. And I think everybody on both sides needs to know when to check your friends, right? Because, and I see Nate saying Kanye is heartbroken. He might be heartbroken, but that don't mean you harass this woman.
He's
like,
heartbroken.
Especially not to the point where like the power that you have, and you got some crazy friends, some crazy fans who will take it to the extreme on your behalf because they feel like they're connected to you in some kind of way and stuff like that. Sex, come here. You don't need to be doing that on social media, like antagonize this woman and her boyfriend like that. And I've been in that situation with my older two kids' father when we first split up. Like at first, when like I was still single, he was out seeing other women, I wasn't bothering him. He was like, "Go do what you do." I wasn't keeping the kids from him, nothing. As soon as I got with somebody, he's on social media. He's sending messages to people. He got an attitude because I'm dating. It's like, but you got like you meeting my boyfriend. I mean your girlfriend. Why are you mad at me? And we both here with our significant other. What are you mad about? We've been over for years at this point.
Because there's so much ego in it. It's so much ego. He fails to realize that Kim was born rich, very wealthy, always been loved and pampered and beautiful her whole life, stylist, all these things. And that's what she was born into. Now, she doesn't need a man telling her what to do, telling her he's, mentioned her, your career is over, is what she's saying in the new like documentary clip that they got. She had said something like he told her your career is over, her posing the way that she was, that, that made her famous and all those things. And he can't handle it because he can't get his way. She doesn't want, lovingly, she does not want him anymore.
Right.
And she found somebody that does admire who she is. Oh my God, you're Kim Kardashian. He wasn't trying to do that because he was, oh my God, I'm Kanye West. You know who you are. You're my wife, but
Yeah.
I'm Kanye West. So, you know, that's
Which
just
again, I'm not a fan of her, like, but at the same time, it's like as a woman, I understand where she's coming from. You can co-parent without being nasty, without being spiteful, without doing all this mess they're doing on social media.
Mm-hmm. And she can't be the same way that I'm saying he can't harass her and be that baby daddy, the way that they make it out to be mamas and all that kind of stuff. She cannot do that with the security and kids and all that.
Right.
And y'all got so much money that y'all don't even have to really like that. Y'all
Right.
got all kind of people that we don't have to. We gotta pay for that kind of stuff, you know, and all that. We struggling out here. Y'all rich. Y'all got all kind. Y'all can have the same live and move with the kids, whatever.
Right.
Make work, co-parenting, but don't sit here and try to make it hard on him because he's not gonna be quiet. He gonna let everybody know what you're doing. He gonna bring the Kardashians down until y'all can shut him down.
Yeah.
Okay? You know,
it's really unfortunate that, you know, this has to play out like this because ultimately, with their lives being so public, the kids are going to see this when they get older and see how immature both parties are being. And that's why I say it's important to have people in both y'all corners, whether it's male or female, be like, you're being bitter, you're being dramatic, both y'all need to stop. At some point, somebody's got to be the adult.
Little North is grown, okay?
Yeah.
She is grown.
I'll be done in a second.
So what kind of
you gotta be quiet.
Positive note?
My positive note is I want to touch on Judge Ketanji Brown real quick because I love her. I've been seeing a lot of people try and come for her because she's married to a white man. Hi, TC. And I'm over this whole race argument. I seen somebody the other day was like, you know, what are little black girls going to think when they see this predominant black woman with the white man? They're going to think the same thing they think when they see a predominantly, you know what I'm saying, a prominent black man with a white woman. At this point, why do we even care?
Please stop.
Like, really? To me, that argument is just as bad as all the white people who were trying to come for her and ask her these irrelevant ass questions during the hearing when they should have been asking about her credentials and they was bringing up stupid stuff. That's the equivalent of that argument for me. Why do we care at this point? Hopefully they see her being loved correctly by a man. It don't matter what his race is. And I'm not saying that because I'm somebody who's been in an interracial relationship, but I sincerely don't understand the double standard of why the fuck it matters. Mm-hmm. Like, really, if she's being loved correctly, her children are happy, she's happy, he's happy, why do we care?
Because we only care so we can have something to say, okay?
Because when we say it about men who date, successful black men who date white women, it's, oh, you're bitter.
Yeah, like, I mean, I have not even been paying no attention to that, honestly. I've been more entertained by the questions that are so ignorant or, you know, just like flat out rude and kind of like entangled, just weird. Right. And expressions and what are you, like, I was kind of taken back and paused with my mouth open. Was being said, I was taken back. And she was just sitting there like, so in my eyes, like she just won. Even when she was just like, I don't know.
Yes.
How much strength that took.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, mother, you know, like, or what? Some of them questions.
Ignorant.
They tried
absolutely ignorant.
They tried it.
They did. They absolutely tried it.
Oh, I'm so tired of Mitch McConnell. That's all I'm gonna say. I just and that's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. TC says, me personally would not mix it up, but at the end of the day, I applaud her. You mean mix it up like date a white guy?
That's just who she fell in love with. I thought love was love. We've been past that. Or when people mad because he with a white girl. No, I'm not. If he loves her and she loves him, let them love each other. We passed that. I thought
we should be at this point. We absolutely should be. I don't see Famous saying she hates black people. I don't see where she hates black people. I don't get that. I mean, she got her locks. Like, she's being who she is authentically. Just because she married a white man doesn't make her any less black. It doesn't mean she hates black people.
Y'all doing these things that we do all the time when we tear each other down. When one of us goes to Harvard, when one of us goes to law school, when we're able, you know, when we make it, when we do things, why is she a judge? everything she do, like there's somebody that's going to be I just applaud everybody first. And then I
Right.
see, okay, well, what you gonna do, sis? Same way I was with Kamala, just because of the way she looks. The way that she looks, my daughter can look at her and say, I can be that one day, or I can do that,
Exactly.
because I never seen that growing up personally.
Mhm.
So I take it for what it is. I applaud. I'm for us, and I applaud us. And then I
Right.
say, now what you gonna do about it?
Right. 100%. I agree. So yeah, that's my positive note. I think we should just let people live and let people love and be who they want to be, and be who they want to be with. Because at the end of the day, as long as you loving me correctly, it doesn't matter like all that what your skin color is. We all gonna look old and wrinkled and busted and disgusted at one point. Like, you know what I'm saying, when we get old on our way out, that doesn't matter. If you was blind, it wouldn't matter. And that's it. Like, honestly, that's what I try and tell myself now that I'm like trying to get back out here dating and stuff like that. I try and look at people not just for what they look like physically, but if I was blind and couldn't see you at all, how do you make me feel? As long as he make her feel good and he loving her the right way, all the rest of that shit is irrelevant.
Thank you.
It
Thank
is
you.
100% irrelevant.
Yeah, so she's a positive note. I can't wait until she is, sworn in, all that kind of good stuff. I
Yeah,
love it. I love it.
yeah.
We need her there. And
Um,
but
yes,
yeah,
it
thank
is.
you for joining us today. Today was a good day. We had to catch up. We had to get our minds right. We had a lot going on.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at some of these comments. Anthony said it's no big issue for me. I think they're both crazy. For her part, when you get with someone with baggage, you should expect that baggage to follow you too. I mean, yeah, but I don't know. Maybe I think differently about this stuff where I just feel like you need to make sure your baggage is healed before you go trying to get into a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, Kanye might have some mental issues. I think Kanye needs to do some healing on himself.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which,
I,
Kanye, if you want, somebody can send me his address. He can get my healing journal from Men because it's available on Amazon. But it's called Real Men Heal. But yeah, I think Kanye needs to do some healing. He needs a healing journal. Like, he needs something. He just has some healing to do. At the end of the day, like, period, point blank, he has some healing to do. While he's jumping from woman to woman, he needs to do some serious healing.
yeah, with all of his money, because
And
he's
Kim
like
does too. They both
the
do.
no, yeah, it's two big egos battling, and
Yeah.
poor kids. That's all. I
Yeah,
just hope.
and that's the sad thing is that when you're unhealed like that and you have kids in the middle of that, at some point it's going to trickle down to them, and that's what we need to be cautious of because too many times people get into these situations and they don't think about what's best for the kids, and that's something that I pride myself. Like, both of my exes will tell you, I always put my kids first. Like, I just made probably the hardest decision I ever had to make was sending my son to go let him live with his dad for the next school year of school. And
Oh,
it's because I recognize as a woman that there are things that I can't teach my son that he can get from his father.
I applaud you for that.
And it was hard to do at first because I
Hard.
remember, like, when he was little, I was like, no, I'm not. Like, he's my son. I can raise him. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, if I'm hard on him like a man would be, then it'll be, it'll compensate. But it won't, though, because I'm still his mom. And he needs that, like, toughness and that love and that strength from a man. And I recognize that. So I'm like, yeah, go spend the next year of school. Like, you're about to be 13, you're coming into those formative years. Go live with
Yeah,
your dad for the next school year, and then you'll come back for eighth grade, and we'll go from there.
yeah, friend. I am very proud of you, and I really, really think that that's a good thing. You can still be, a very present mother, but
Absolutely.
it's his father and this age, this stage. There's certain things, and yeah, and y'all make it work.
Yeah.
Y'all make it work from there. But that was, yeah, very good, very good. A lot more women should not be afraid to do that, or people would be judgmental about that. That's some real talk, because a
Yeah.
lot of times they
That is
like to
something
blame
else.
the men, but you raising men on your own. You're raising.
Yeah.
We can get into that next time, but I'm proud of you.
Absolutely.
That was good.
And I assure you that my child is fine. She's just singing right now. She just wants to be up under me. She follows me wherever I go. She's fine.
Yeah, Sage is
Uh,
a rock star. Sage
she was
is.
mad she couldn't go play with Journey today. She's like, "We're going to Miss Brittany's house so I can go play with Journey." I was like, "We'll go next
uh, yeah,
week."
yeah.
So yeah, what is your positive note for the day so we can
That
wrap?
was my. Was her. Yeah, everything that I said about her. I'm very. proud of that. I'm very hopeful and glad that that's going on because, like I said, my kids need to see it. So that was my,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. All
keep
right,
making.
y'all. That's our show. I have to go pick up my other child from work, so I got to get up out of here. So
Yeah,
thank y'all for tuning in. We will see you guys next week on Melanin Insights at 5:30 p.m. right here on Sin Digital Media.
that's right. See y'all.
Bye.